So hello everybody, my name's Beth from AE Expeditions and I'm here today to talk to you about what adventures await beyond the ship. So from poles to paradise, what kind of activities that your clients can enjoy when exploring both the polar regions but also some of our tropical regions with AE Expeditions. So destination wise, we do travel to the poles predominantly, so Antarctica and the Arctic, but we do also feature some stunning tropical destinations such as Costa Rica, Indonesia, and Borneo, where activity and adventure is really at the forefront of these expeditions and these sailings. So it's really important as expedition sellers that you understand the different activities so you can really promote the right voyage to your client. And it really is a way to tap in to those different client bases as well. So I'll come more onto that a little bit later on. But just a bit of an overview of what's already included with AE Expeditions when it comes to our experiences. Now, we are all about getting off the ship as much as possible, and those that have hopefully maybe tried an AE expedition in the past, you'll know that we'll try and get you off the ship 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a day. Anything sort of up from 4 hours off the ship wherever we can. And we do that through these different experiences such as Zodiac cruising. So it's not just a way to get on and off the ship and onto the ice, but it's also a way to go and explore. We'll sail past wildlife, icebergs, and it's an amazing experience. It does get a bit chilly. You do need to wrap up warm for those, but it's brilliant Zodiac cruise, and you really do get up close and personal with the wildlife and with adventure. We also have our guided hiking program. Guided hiking might sound a little bit scary, especially if you may be a little bit wobbly on your feet like me, but we do have different types of hiking for different experiences. So anything from getting off the Zodiac at a landing point and just having a little potter around the beach area or the landing area, and then back onto the ship for a toasty afternoon tea. We go off on our medium hike, so sort of 3 to 5 kilometres, and then through to our advanced hiking where you're following the expedition team off into a mountain, and we'll see you sometime later on. So they're built for different experience levels and available to all guests on board. We also feature photography. We have specialised photography Zodiacs. If you've got any keen photographers, fantastic for them. We have our incredible expedition team that not only are they there for safety, but they're also there for adventure and to share their knowledge and expertise with our clients. So every kind of ologist on board, like glaciologists, we've got scientists, we've got historians. These guys know everything and they share that knowledge through our expert lectures whilst we're on board as well. Lectures might sound a little bit stuffy, but they're fun, they're educational, they're short, they're inspiring, and they're a really good way to mix with the E-team and with your other guests as well. Now, there are lots of other things, legendary polar plunge, bird watching, excursions to historical sites, as well as citizen science, which we feature citizen science on board our ships, but you're going to learn more about that this week with another expedition line. So there's lots of experiences that are already included. But we do also feature our world-leading optional activity programme. So our optional activities are designed to enhance the voyage even further. And this is where you can really tap in to those kind of niche client groups that wouldn't ordinarily consider an expedition. So what are optional activities? Well, it's a curated activity programme and it's tailored to enrich the client's voyage. So each activity programme is designed by where we're sailing, the experiences in those regions. It really is designed to make the most of that region that we're sailing within. They're available on select voyages, so we don't offer every activity on every voyage. We offer up to 3, and that really maintains the quality. We have specific dedicated expedition team members on board to host those activities, so they're quite exclusive, they're really great quality. And they are limited, so there's only a small amount of activities available on each voyage. I mean, we only take 130 guests to the polar region, so we can't have everybody off sea kayaking as well. But I'm going to talk to you more about sort of the numbers that we have on board and activity programs shortly. Now, you do really need to book them at the time of confirming your client's journey, and I'd always encourage to have that conversation with your client at the point of inquiry about activities, because you might have a snowboarder and you don't even know it. And what an amazing thing to experience when you're off in Antarctica. Can you imagine if you were a snowboarder or a skier and you didn't know you could do that whilst you were there? You'd be absolutely gutted because you can't book them on board. And they do need confirming at the point of confirming the expedition. And again, there's limited availability. So make sure you are encouraging them to review the activities and get those confirmed as soon as they can. Now, some activities require prior experience or a certain skill level, and that's where our reservations team come in, or your preferred tour operator. They can talk to you and talk to your client about what activity levels and what skill levels are required to be able to participate. So they feature throughout the voyage. If someone does book one of our optional activities, well, it's not just a one-time thing. They'll be doing that as much as possible throughout the voyage. So it really does enhance that experience for them. So let's have a little look at some of the different activities that you can experience in our destination. So we're going to start with Antarctica, and we're going to have a look at how we can elevate that voyage with our optional activities. Want to be there when I see the video of the destination. But Antarctica really does offer something for everyone, and it is home to our most comprehensive activity program. So there are lots of different things that you can get up to and what you can offer to your client when you are sailing in this region. Now, sea kayaking is one of our most popular programs. We offer sea kayaking on most voyages throughout the season, up to 20 spaces per voyage. And sea kayaking is designed to get you off and in your kayaks as much as possible. So every time we do a landing or every time we get off the ship, our kayakers, they'll be getting off first. They'll be going off and kayaking. Maybe it's for 20 minutes, maybe it's half an hour, sometimes up to 2 hours. And they'll be getting out onto the water. They'll be sailing past icebergs, penguins, whale pods, and having the most incredible time. But not only do they get to experience the sea kayaking, they'll also get to then go to our landing point. So if we're getting off on some sea ice, if we're getting off at a historical site, they'll also experience that as well. So they're not missing anything. They're purely enhancing their experience whilst they're on board. Now, sea kayaking does require a level of experience. You definitely don't want your first time kayaking to be in Antarctica. It's cold and it can be a bit wild, and we will get out as much as possible on the kayaks. So for those that are maybe fair weather people, it might not be for them. But then again, that's where the reservations team come in, or your preferred tour operator. They'll be able to talk you through what kind of experience is needed so you can make sure that that activity is right for your client. We also have snorkeling. Who'd have thought you could go snorkeling in Antarctica? What an experience to get underneath the water and see those icebergs and those penguins up close and personal. Now, snorkeling is for anybody. You don't need any experience for snorkeling. You can get in the water and you can go and paddle, and you can really, really enjoy that experience. We're in the water for about 20 minutes at a time. We're wearing full dry suits, and all the equipment is included. The only part of you really that's going to get wet is your face. You'll get a little bit chilly for a few minutes, but it is an amazing experience. We also offer scuba diving. Again, experience required for scuba diving. I'll come on to that a little bit later on. Ski and snowboard touring, snowshoeing, alpine trekking and climbing. We also offer camping. Camping, you don't need any experience, And what an amazing way to spend a night under the stars in Antarctica. With the little penguins paddling past you in the morning. It's a really cool experience, and we offer 40 spots on every voyage for camping, where we offer it. Now, we do only offer it at the beginning of the season where the snowfall is great and the ice is great. You wouldn't get camping towards the end of the Antarctica season. So again, if you've got somebody that would really love to do that, then you want to be looking sort of October, November, December time at the beginning of the Antarctica season. We also offer paddling, which is kind of like the baby version of sea kayaking, and anyone could do it. Even I could paddle. So you could encourage your clients to get out on the paddles, and we do that more when the weather is better, and we do paddle less throughout the voyage. So it's maybe half an hour at a time, maybe up to an hour if we've got a confident group of paddlers, but you don't need experience to do that. So again, something that anybody can enjoy, anyone can experience. And definitely a win-win in Antarctica. I know I would want to do it. And something that is really special is the Shackleton's Crossing. If you've got guests that are interested in history, they are keen hikers and trekkers and climbers. Shackleton's Crossing is a multiple day experience. They'll camp and follow Shackleton's fabled story as if you know anything about Shackleton, it's a really great experience. So all these kind of activities are things that we offer in Antarctica only, but they are there to really enhance the voyage. And there's probably some activities that surprise you a little bit. You wouldn't have thought that you could maybe scuba dive or ski in Antarctica, things where you do need experience to do so, but it's also a way for you to tap into those customer groups that might not have thought about an expedition. If you have got a really keen group of skiers, have they considered heading to Antarctica? Is it something that they've never even thought of? Because it's a way to really kind of encourage new guests to come and join us on board. And again, I'll talk to you a little bit more about that in a bit more detail later on. So then we're over to the Arctic. And again, I've got a gorgeous video of the Arctic just to bring it to life a little bit for you. So we're going up to the North Pole now, and we'll see what we can get up to in the Arctic. Now that one does give me chills. I was lucky to go to the Arctic in the summer, and it brings it all back. Now you might have noticed on that video that there were some furry characters, some cuddly characters that you definitely wouldn't want to come across in the wild, and that is of course polar bears. So in the Arctic we do have polar bears, which does make it a little bit more challenging to operate a really large activity program, because obviously safety is paramount, as is protecting these incredible creatures and trying not to disturb them wherever possible. So it does mean our Arctic activity program is a little bit more limited when it comes to optional activities. We still offer all our normal inclusions, while zodiac cruising, our guided hikes, visits to historical sites, all done with the utmost safety. That's paramount with our expedition team. But we also offer sea kayaking, which again is amazing in the Arctic, because every landscape is so different. It's so vast, it's volcanic, it's just incredible. And one minute you could be sailing past bird cliffs, the next you could be kayaking past huge tabular icebergs. So it really does depend on where you are, and every day is different when you're out on the kayaks in the Arctic. So again, experience is required. We offer 20 spots on every voyage. But what a way to go and explore that destination. And we also offer snorkeling, not up in the Arctic itself, so not in Svalbard, Spitsbergen, and Greenland. Again, you don't want to be coming head to head with a polar bear when you're in the water because they can swim a bit faster than you. But we do offer snorkeling down in Iceland. Again, what an experience. You wouldn't have thought it's something that's possible, but it absolutely is. And on our Icelandic voyages, we absolutely offer that as well. So then over to our warmer waters. And again, this is somewhere where you can really tap into a different client base, because not a lot of clients would think about an expedition for a warmer water voyage. And we visit places like Costa Rica, Indonesia, Borneo. We're in Tasmania at the moment with our new ship, or we're about to go to Tasmania with Douglas Mawson. And with the Warmer Waters activity programme, we can offer so much more in addition to all our usual inclusions. Things like snorkeling, paddling, and stand-up paddleboarding is all included. So that's a big difference when it comes to warm waters, and a real key selling point for our expeditions, because these things are all included, and we'll get off the ship and do it as much as possible. But we also have the option to add on things like kayaking and scuba diving, where yes, experience is required. But again, what an amazing way to go and see these destinations. If you've got scuba diving clients that would usually book somewhere maybe like Egypt, or I don't know, they go over to Thailand, wherever they go and scuba dive, have they thought about some of these more remote destinations on board an expedition ship? And we're not the only expedition line out there that goes to tropical waters. There are many other expedition lines that offer places like French Polynesia, the Pacific, the Caribbean. So don't just think about us for warm waters. If you've got clients that want that really kind of small ship, that immersive experience, think about an expedition cruise for warm water sailing. So how do optional activities work? I mean, I've talked a little bit about this already, but we at AE Expeditions have our easy access activities. So these are activities that anyone can enjoy without prior experience. Again, our reservations team will happily talk through what the experience is like, and all the equipment is already included. So that's camping, paddling, snowshoeing, and snorkeling. All easy access activities and something that anybody can do. So why would you not offer them to your clients? Because what an experience. Then we have our specialist activities where experience is required, like scuba diving. You need so many hours of dry suit diving. You also need to be PADI certified. Rock climbing. I mean, if you've never rock climbed before, again, you don't want to be doing it in Antarctica for the first time. So these kind of things do require a little bit more experience, as does ski and snowboarding. But speak to the team, speak to our experts, speak to your preferred tour operator, and we will happily guide you and your clients through that process. So if it's something that you want to talk about with your clients, you want to tap into those kind of specialist groups and attract those different client bases, that's where we are more than happy to come in and help you along with that. Now, activities do have an additional cost. So if they're not already included in the voyage, then there are additional costs to add these. And don't forget, these are full programs. So your client is going to be doing these activities as much as possible throughout the voyage. Things like scuba diving, snorkeling, paddling, sea kayaking. We're going to really get out and about off the ship and experience those things. Camping, we do only do it for one night. So that's why you'll see kind of a big difference in the price. But for those that really want to enhance their voyage, you work that out over maybe a 10, 13, 14 night voyage. It really is not that much at all for such an incredible experience. Again, these are from prices, so the reservations or team or your tour operator will be able to give the accurate pricing per voyage. Plus, it pays to promote activities to your clients because you do earn commission on those on top of your normal commission. So you earn 10% on all activities that you sell. So it can also be a nice little top up for our travel partners as well. So that's kind of a bit of an overview of our activities program. Hopefully I've inspired you a little bit with what kind of things you can get up to off the ship and on the ice. But I do have some top tips to help you really make the most out of the activities program. So definitely talking about activities and understanding your client and what they're looking for from their expedition. If your client's been and they have been online and they've seen what kind of things you can get up to on an expedition, then they come to you as their specialist and they want to talk to you about those activities and you don't discuss them, it might be a little bit of a disjointed journey for them. Equally, if they don't know about activities, they only know what they know. So if you don't talk about them, you don't discuss them, you don't promote them, your client's never going to know about them until they get on the ship. And again, if you've got a keen snorkeler or scuba diver and they didn't know they could do those things, they're going to be quite disappointed when they can't book them on board. So always talk about activities from the get-go. Make sure you understand what your client's looking for, if they'd be interested in these kind of things with their expedition. Use the voyage calendar on our website. So if your client is interested in these optional activities, our voyage calendar is a fantastic tool where you can see what activities are available on each voyage. So you head onto the website, click voyage calendar at the top. It'll show you our entire season for every destination. And then on the right-hand side, it'll show you what optional activities are available. So it'll help you narrow that down. If your client is interested in skiing, you could find what voyages we offer. Speak to the reservations team or speak to your tour operator about the activities, see how many spaces are available. We don't want to encourage a hard sell on these things, but they do sell out really quickly. Like scuba diving, we only have 8 spots per voyage, so they can go really quickly. So do make sure that you speak to the res team, ask how many spaces are available and share that information with your clients so you can encourage them to book them at the point of booking their expedition. Nobody wants to miss out. They do sell out all the time. They're incredible experiences. And why would you not want to enhance your voyage that bit further if you can? Like I say, we're not the only expedition line that goes to these different destinations. We're not the only expedition line that offers activities. But we do offer the most comprehensive in the expedition space. So we've got the most options for clients. So if you have got those really adventurous, really activity-driven clients, please do consider AE Expeditions for them. And of course, if you need anything, you've got any questions or you want to know anything more about our activities, then please do reach out to your business development manager or to the UK sales team, and we will be happy to help with those.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Beth. That was brilliant. Yeah, we've got loads of love for all the videos in the chat, and everyone's feeling very inspired, which is really great to see. We've got one question. Yeah, we've got one question in the chat from Zoe. I'm asking about the camping cost. Zoe missed that. Would you mind repeating it?
Yeah, it's for $165 per person. Now we do only offer camping for one night on a voyage, and so it is $165. But it obviously future seasons might see a small increase. One thing to note with camping is we don't do it with tents. We are out under the stars, so we are camping with sleeping bags. We want to cause as least disruption to the environment as we can. And we will definitely have penguins waddling by and coming up for a little nosy to see what's going on. Can't guarantee much sleep, but we can guarantee an incredible experience.
Amazing. Okay, and then we've got a couple minutes before the session ends, but I was wondering specifically about solo travellers. So obviously Expedition Cruise, you do get quite a lot of solo travellers.
Absolutely.
Are there any activities that are particularly great for them, like that really foster a community of like relationship building?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, most of the activities have that kind of that relationship building to it, because everybody that's participating in an activity program, they'll meet with their expedition team specialists and they'll meet with the rest of the kayakers or the rest of the snorkelers, and they'll have their safety briefings together. Then they'll go and test out their equipment together. Then they'll head out on their first Zodiac together. So they kind of really do stick as a group. And they're small groups as well. So like I say, snorkelers, we've got 8. Skiers, we've got 8. Kayakers is kind of the largest activity program with 20. But you're sharing a kayak. So you're going to kind of, you're going to meet people. You're going to spend time with these people. And they really do turn into a community and a group. And it's a great experience. So any of them, really, in summary.
Yeah.
Any of them.
Brilliant. Sounds great. Marina's put a question in the chat as well about the camping again. Is there a minimum age for customers who can go on those excursions?
I think it's 14 off the top of my head. Now, we do have a minimum age for our expeditions anyway, which I believe is 12. That's testing me now. But yeah, camping 14.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Okay, and you've already shared some great top tips for agents who are like looking to book an expedition cruise and choosing activities. But do you have any tips for the customers who are looking to choose activities? I know it will kind of depend on what they're interested in, but yeah, there's obviously so much on offer. You know, if they want to do everything, how can they choose?
I know. Well, I mean, it really does depend on narrowing down what they're confident with. I mean, if you've got somebody that's not a keen swimmer, then snorkeling is not going to be for them. If you've got somebody that's never been out on a kayak before, they may be a little bit nervous about that, and they're considering paddling, well, we'd encourage you to go and try a day training session at your local kayaking group. Our reservations team can recommend different centres up and down the UK for that before you kind of commit to that activity. But if we have got somebody that's really keen on experiencing lots of different activities, we do offer our active Antarctica voyage, which we've actually got a fan trip over in Antarctica at the moment on active Antarctica. So a little slight plug, but you know, if you follow our Instagram and join our Facebook group, you can kind of see what these guys are getting up to. And on active Antarctica, we include snorkeling, paddling, snowshoeing and camping. So we've got 4 activities throughout that voyage, which there's no optional activity fee because it's included. So if they're really interested, they want to go to Antarctica, they want to experience these things, what a great place to start. And we've just launched our 27-28 season where we've got 3 active Antarctica voyages because they sell out so quickly. So a great way to kind of experience more things. If they want loads of activities, Antarctica is the way to go. The Arctic is incredible, but you can't do as many because, as I just said, polar bears. If they want warmer weathers, again, there's loads included with warmer tropical destinations.
Perfect. No, that's a great overview. Thank you so much for your time, for your presentation. It's been fab.
No, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, so just to wrap up, so that is all for today as part of TTG Expedition Cruise Fest. Please come back tomorrow at 10:30. We'll be learning all about the wildlife encounters that clients can have on an expedition cruise. So talking specifically about the different species and where you can see them and when. And that'll be an interview with Scenic. And we're also going to hear all about citizen science projects with HX Expeditions. If you haven't already answered the questions in the polls tab, please do. Remember, that's how you win the prizes from this week's sessions. So yeah, that's everything from us. And thank you and have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.